Hey y'all, Dallas again, Chaos Fragrances. Today we're back with another fragrance review, and this is going to be on Mont Blanc's Individuel. So this is a fragrance that was talked about in the fragrance community. Starting a couple years ago, this thing was very much talked about, especially by Jeremy. He kind of started the whole trend of this fragrance, and you know, it definitely is more controversial, I'd say. Some people love it, some people hate it. So we're going to go and talk about that today, so let's get right into it. Also, this is my second time recording this review because the first time my microphone wasn't turned on, so yeah, it's nice. Pretty nice. The first thing you'll notice when you smell this fragrance is it's very busy. It has a lot going on. And what I mean by that is if you look at the note breakdown, as I'm sure you've heard everyone else say, there are a lot of notes. There is a lot going on with this fragrance. So that makes it kind of hard to pinpoint certain notes that kind of stick out to you because there's just so much crammed into, you know, this bottle that it's just come off kind of busy, kind of noisy. And for that reason, also very synthetic and sharp when you smell it. The notes that do stick out to me the most is the raspberry. You can definitely get that when you spray it. Also in the dry down a little bit. But the main notes that you need to worry about is it has raspberry and it has vanilla. And when you smell this, it kind of has this freshness to it, but also this kind of sweetness, which this would be nothing for the summer, nothing for the warmer months. Because I can already tell you if this heats up, it's just going to be disgusting. Definitely would not be good in the heat. This is definitely more for the colder months because that coldness will kind of smooth it out a little bit, whereas if you wore this in the heat, it's going to be really cloying, really kind of nasty. So this is definitely more for the colder months here that we have coming up. And like I said, this is very sharp, very synthetic. When you smell it up close, it is kind of off-putting, so be careful with that. You know, don't smell it, you know, right there and then leave your bad reviews. You know, let it air out a little bit. I think you'll start to appreciate it more. I think definitely for me, when I first smelled it, I was just like, like really, you know, like that's what all the hype was about. But the more I've worn it, the more I've smelled it, the more I've started to appreciate it a little bit. And surprisingly enough, girls actually appreciate this fragrance a lot. So, you know, I know Jeremy in his reviews, he's talked about how it's a really good compliment getter. But when you smell this first off, you kind of forget all about that because you're thinking like, oh, really? And when I first wore this, I was actually kind of nervous because I'm like, oh, you know, people are probably going to think I'm wearing some nasty ass, cheap ass fragrance. And you know, I was a little bit nervous, but this actually does really well. Completely surprised me. You know, girls were saying, oh, I would eat that up. Just compliments like that where I was just like, really? Like, you know, like we smell the same thing. So there's something in this that women really appreciate. I think, you know, us guys, we just kind of, or at least us fragrance enthusiasts especially, we smell this and we're just like, oh, really? But there's something about it that girls just love. So definitely give this one a shot if you're in it for the compliments. Obviously, if you're in the fragrance game for the art of fragrances, this really wouldn't be the one for you. I think this does smell like Creed's Original Sintel. Is that what it is? One of those Creed fragrances. I think this one was out first. Maybe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a Creed expert. But if you're in it for that, definitely check out that one by Creed, whichever one it is. But, you know, like I said, this one, very sharp, very synthetic. In the air, it is better. So, you know, don't spray it right there. Smell it really closely. It's just going to be too sharp, but let this go around in the air a little bit. You'll start to appreciate it more for what it is. As far as performance goes for this one, again, it's actually surprised me. It does really well. This is, again, one of those fragrances that can be really tiring to your nose. You know, if you spray it kind of on your neck or chest area and the fragrance is constantly kind of radiating up, your nose is going to get tired of it pretty quickly because again, there is a lot going on. This is very tiring to your nose and to your senses. So because of that, your nose is going to get used to it pretty quickly. So don't freak out when you can't smell it after an hour. I'm sure it's still there unless you bought some eBay reformulated watered down bottle. I'm sure it's still there, you just can't smell it yourself because again, your nose is tired of it. As far as situations where I'd wear this one, this definitely is more of a formal dressed up fragrance. This is nothing to wear, you know, just casually dressed. You could wear this to school if you wanted to. I know for me, for colder weather, school fragrances, I have picks that might go above this one. I'm not saying you can't do it, I'm just saying for me, for my personal taste, this would be towards the bottom of school fragrances. So like I said, definitely more for a formal, dressed up kind of a situation for me, to the office, you know, to church, things like that. This is nothing for just kind of a lounging around, kind of casual, smelling fun fragrance. You know, this is definitely not one of those. This definitely isn't a youthful kind of teenager smelling fragrance by any means. This is very masculine, very mature. It kind of smells like, you know, a man that knows what he wants, is just kind of has his eyes set on what he wants and is going to do it type of thing. This is some masculine smelling stuff, some interesting smelling stuff where younger girls may not appreciate it as much as older, more mature women. So again, more for the mature crowd and mature situations. You know, this would definitely make a great gift, I think, for this Christmas. I do plan on doing a top 5, top 10 best gifts for fragrance, best fragrances for gifts. Best fragrances for gifts. I'm going to do a video on that, and this will probably be in there. I'm not going to spoil the list. I don't even know what the list is. I'm not going to spoil it though, but this will probably be in there somewhere, so be looking forward to that for this Christmas. Hopefully here soon, because unless you're like me that's going to wait last minute to do your Christmas shopping. But so this will probably be in there, like I said, be a good gift for your dad, for your uncle or grandpa, or you know, someone like that, for your girlfriend's dad maybe. You know, I don't know. So guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this review. If you enjoyed this one, please be sure to leave a like. That really helps me out, you know, helps encourage me to make these videos. Also leave a comment telling me what you think of this fragrance, and also if you have any suggestions for fragrances that you want to see reviewed, also leave them down below. I love reading your guys' suggestions. Also don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, so that way you stay up to date of when I upload. Like I said, I'm going to do Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesdays now. I'm going to try to stick with that, so hopefully you guys are liking the videos. Like I said, be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, and I think that's about it, guys, so peace.